Hey, folks, welcome back to the Online Basketball Academy. And today we're going to be looking at the perfect drill to teach a 5 out continuous motion offense. Now, this drill is perfect for pretty much all age groups all around. If you're looking at younger age groups to try to teach them the motion offense, to try to teach them the spacing of a 5 out, to try to teach them the concept of, passing and cutting and moving, it's perfect for that. It's also great for older age groups as well. I've seen this drill done in the high school level and the professional level to try to reinforce spacing, to try to reinforce that continuous movement. So basically what we're going to be looking at today is the perfect drill to teach and reinforce a 5 out offense. Okay, so the name of this drill is Nurse. And basically, what we're doing with this particular drill is reinforcing how a 5 out works. We're going over how to pass and how to cut and how to drive to the basket. Now, you can do this drill with, either a drive to the basket or a shot, to finish. It depends on what you're trying to reinforce that day. At the end of the day, the grand theme of this drill is our passing and cutting and filling a spot, right? When you teach a 5 out, it is often pretty hard to, teach the athletes to fill a new spot, right? That's what, from my experience, is the hardest thing for younger athletes to completely grasp is okay, I'm not standing still, I'm filling a spot, I'm continuously moving within the offense, even without the basketball. And that is what this drill is going to focus on, right? It's just as important for the players in line to continue moving without the basketball than it is to continue moving with the basketball. So we're going to take a look at it now. So the way I do this is I have 4 spots on the floor. Okay. So, I know the 5 out, our 5 out continuous motion offense would have 5 spots on the floor. Maybe you do a 4 out, one in, then it would look a little bit more similar to this. But, overall, we have 5 spots on the floor. This line is going to be a spot where we have our number ones. This line is going to be a spot where we have our number twos. This line is going to be a spot where we have our number threes. And this line is going to be a spot where we have our number four. So we have 4 different lines around the court. Each are going to be behind the 3 point line to kind of mimic a 5 out or 4 out, one in motion offense, whatever it is that you're trying to teach. The different colors here are the different people in line. They don't need to match up. It doesn't really matter who's where because everybody's going to continue moving throughout this drill. But we have our ones here in this line, twos here in this line, threes here, and fours here. Again, this is not anything to do with position. Eventually you want to rotate everybody around 2 different spots. So how this drill is going to work, we're going to have the balls in this line here, the number one line. So we're always going to start with the basketballs in the number one line. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we want to get a paint touch. So we want to try to reinforce to our teams that paint touches are everything, right? Paint touches are the key to getting ball movement. Paint touches are the key to scoring, obviously, whether that's getting yourself a lane or, finding someone else or finding the open man. So we want to start this thing by getting a paint touch. So number one is going to get into the paint, right? We're going to drive number one to the paint. So number one, like I said, starts with the basketball, and they're getting a paint touch right here. When they're in the paint, we're going to hypothetically have, a fake double team here is what we're going to picture, and we're going to have number one kick the ball out to number four. Okay, so number one's going to kick the ball out to number four. As number one kicks the ball out, they're going to fill this spot in line. So number one is going to go fill this spot. Number three then is going to move up to where number one was. Number four is then going to swing the ball to number two. Number two will swing the ball to number three. And number three will swing the ball back to number one. And number one can either drive in for a layup themselves or drive in and kick it out to number four for a shot. So they have 2 different options there. So let's reset and look at this again. So number two, back over here. Three, be back over here. Number one, back over here with the basketball. So like I said, number one is going to start by getting a paint touch with the basketball. So number one gets to the paint, right? We're going to imagine that there's a double team set right here, right? Double team is coming, and number one is going to kick the ball out to number four. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Number one is then going to fill this spot. Number two is going to move up here. We're getting the kick, swing, swing. Ball is back into number one's hands. They can either go up for the layup or continue to drive, pass it out to number four for a shot. Now, it depends if you're a young team or older team. If you are a young team, maybe you'll want number 4 to move in a little bit, for a mid-range shot. If you're an older team and you want to practice, some three-point shooting, that works as well. What you will do though is eventually have everybody rotate lines, right? So, you come back to your same line, maybe you'll do 2 reps, being in your same line. And then we'll rotate, we'll move these folks down here, move these folks over here, move these folks over here, etc. The biggest thing in this drill is number 3 and number 4 line. They're not getting a whole lot of action here. What we're really trying to reinforce with the lines of number 3 and number 4 is to swing the basketball, right? Number 4 may get a shot at the end, but for number 3, all their job really is to swing, right? Everybody else, we're looking at movement, but for number 3, they're just looking to swing the basketball, and that might not seem like a whole lot when you're teaching the drill. It might be a little bit hard to keep the kids engaged with that one, especially if you're looking at a younger team. But in the grand scheme of things, you are helping your team because you're, teaching that ball movement, which is what you want, right? So let's go over it again with number 1 in line. Number 1 is going to get that paint touch. Number 1 is driving into the key, right? As that happens, they're going to kick the ball out to number 4. Okay. Number 1 is then going to go fill a new spot. Number 2 is moving up. Number 4 is going to swing that basketball, swing that basketball, swing that basketball. We're going all the way around the floor swinging. That's what we want to teach is, continuous ball movement. Then number 1 is going to drive into the paint, right? They can have a layup for themselves, or they can kick it out to number 4 for a jump shot. If you want to try to get different ways to get number 3 involved, maybe we can kick it out to them for a jump shot as well. But again, are we really teaching a 5-out motion offense here with this particular drill? No, it's not a 5-out motion offense per se. What we are teaching, are the concepts of your 5-out motion offense, right? We're teaching a drive and kick, right? We're teaching, swinging the basketball, moving it from side to side, right? Getting it from one side of the floor to the other. That's why we, have the ball completely swing all the way around the floor back, to the original person that received it, because that's what we want to preach to our teams is, you give up the ball, you're going to get it back. So for this particular drill, are we teaching the 5-out motion offense? No, but what we're teaching are the concepts that you will use within your 5-out motion offense. So once you do this drill a few times, and you eventually have your, players move all the way around the floor, then they will start to understand the concepts a little bit more of the 5-out motion offense. And then you can get into your teaching of the 5-out because they will understand those positions a little bit more, and they will understand what exactly, they're being asked to do, which is continuously move the basketball, give up the basketball because you will get it back, right? And, continuously move the ball around the floor. All right, folks, that is all we have for today's particular topic. If you made it this far into today's lesson, it is greatly appreciated. Now, if you guys could also do me a huge favor and like this video and subscribe to our channel, it would also be greatly appreciated. We are the Online Basketball Academy. My name is Coach Danny, and I continuously upload different basketball plays, basketball systems, basketball tactics, and basketball drills that youth basketball players or training basketball players can use, or basketball coaches can use with their players and their teams. Like I said, folks, if you could take the time to like this video and subscribe to our channel so I can continue to make this type of content for you all, that would be greatly appreciated. Till next time, peace out.